Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so very much for watching me on this video. We're going to be taking a look at platinum, gold, silver, palladium. We're going to be taking a look at some Bitcoin and how the metals and Bitcoin has performed in the charts. We're also going to get an update in regards to any news out there that could be affecting precious metals prices. So we'll be taking a look at that. Just a big thank you to my viewers. Again, thank you very much. My donators as well. I've got 2 spots left on the donation table. You can check out the description for more information. You'll see there is a top 10 tier for donations. I've got 2 spots left before the next giveaway. If anyone wants to get involved in becoming a donator to the channel, please check that out. And in case you've missed the last episode, there's a link in the description as well, so please do take a look. Right, so we're going to get cracking with silver. Obviously we can see it here. Current pricing for silver is $16.82 currently, so we're going to be taking a look and see how it's performed. It's currently up 7 cents, which is interesting. It's been up and down, up and down. Initially it started off pretty well. I think we were about 11 cents up, but and then it went down to -5 cents, and now it's sort of back up 7 cents. So we'll see how that has performed today. We got Mr. Dave here as well. Hey, Mr. Dave, how you doing? Good to see you. Welcome to the stream. Excellent. It's good to see you, Mr. Dave. How are things? Did you have a good weekend? Let's have a look. So, looking at the chart, this is the 1 day. So we've seen a decline. If you missed out on the last video, please check the description. You'll find the video there. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscription. Give us a thumbs up as well. It'd be great to get your support. And if there's any comments for those watching this video afterwards, please let me know in the comment section below. Right, so currently this was today's trading. Currently seeing resistance at about the 1693 level. If I click this button here, there we go. There's our high of 1693. And then it went as low as 1666, and then it's come back to current levels at 1682. We are trading between these levels here, so that's 1710, call it that, and 1647. That's currently our trading area at the moment. Resistance, if you have a look at resistance, is pretty much bang on right there at 1693. We've got an area here, and that corresponds to these 2 candles over here as well. Then we've got initial, once we've broken through that resistance level, we are headed up here. Next resistance level is at 1710. That's if we're going to the upside, and then a bit further up at 1728, 1730. So loads of resistance for silver to get through. We pretty much have got to get back into the 18 areas here to resume any sort of upward momentum rally. But currently we've had consistent days of selling here. Even today alone, we've had some selling and buying. We're still not out of the woods yet. We'll have to keep an eye on that. $16.82 is where we're currently trading at the moment. Aussie Alchemist, how you doing, Aussie? It's good to see you. All good, sick as a dog. I'm sorry to hear that, Mr. Dave. I hope you get well soon. Hit that like button. Love it. Thank you very much. Mr. Dave, take it easy, mate. Get well. Yeah. Where did $23 go? I know I saw Sullivan Metals, his teaser when he was talking about palladium at certain levels and silver at $23. Yeah, I even checked to see if there was any movement in the charts, if there was like some kind of spike and immediate sell-off, but I couldn't see anything there. So more than likely a system error on one of the sites, but I thought that was quite funny. Ozzy says, oh, Kidco, there you go. I hope silver keeps dropping, planning on filling my boots. Goal for the year end is 750 ounces. Wow. Really, Mr. Dave? Man, that's some goal. Goal for the year end is 750 ounces. Man, that's good going. Wow. Yeah, no, I got you there, Ozzy. I thought it might be. I thought when you said Kirko, I was like, I'm sure it's Kitco. Right, let's have a look here. Where are we expected to go from here? Now, first of all, another thing to note, which we would get some sort of reaction rally off, is that we've seen consistent fall in the silver price. So whenever we see a consistent fall like this, more than likely there's going to be a reaction rally to the upside. Naturally, when prices fall this fast, this quick, there's more than likely a build-up rally before we start to see more rejection. So just keep that in mind. At these levels here, it's pretty good at the moment at these levels. However, we're pretty much on support. You can see this area here where we got those two candles. We're pretty much on support at the moment there at 1670. A break to the downside would result in a further decline. Would start at the 1646, and then if that doesn't hold, would be in the sub $16 level. Anything between 16.17 and $16 for an ounce of silver. So just take note of those. If you do see this any form of breakdown, more than likely it's going to retest these areas here, and if it falls to the floor, we're going to be looking at 1560 in that area there. However, there's still consistent support for silver at the moment in these areas, so we'll have to see how well it performs now. But it's currently at 1693. It's been rejected, and we've seen a sell-off. If we have a look at silver on the 4 hour, there's our breakdown there on the 4 hour. You can see our moving averages all starting to fall down and follow. There's our resistance. Sorry, our support line there at 1663. You can see that's coming in close. Resistance areas, there's our 1695, 1696, all the way at the top here. We are on a downtrend currently at the moment, so it's something worth considering. If you go back to the daily, you'll see exactly what I mean. There you go. There's our downtrend, and it starts all the way back here. Right, so there, if you touch from our previous point, there we go, look at that. There's our downtrend. So we've had sell-off, reaction rally, sell-off, reaction rally, sell-off, reaction rally, sell-off, reaction rally, sell-off. So more than likely, there is the likelihood of a reaction rally coming. So it's the matter of just being aware of that. There could be an area here that you could make some money off, depending on how much silver you buy. Especially in most cases, if you follow the charts here, you'll see these reaction rallies are followed by sell-offs, and that's how the charts work. So just keep that in mind. We're currently in a sell-off, and more than likely there will be a reaction rally to the upside. 1750, I'd say, is probably a good area of resistance to be made aware of. So more than likely, if we get up here, if there's a rejection at this level, more than likely we could see further downward movements. So just keep that in mind. Let's have a look here. Hey, Precious Metals Update, man. How you doing? It's good to see you. Hey, Limey and everybody. How you doing? Mr. Dave says goal spelling check. Aussie. Mr. Dave says at 570 now. Man, Mr. Dave, you're the man. That is some stack, man. Congratulations. Cheers for the well wishes. Yeah. Says, oh yes, I'd love $15, a $15 long term. I'm sure you would. I think the majority of everybody would take advantage of that. I wonder if it's a good idea to be buying on the move down right now, or wait for it to go lower. What are you guys doing? Well, I'm not buying anything at the moment other than numismatic coinage, precious metals update. I'm not looking to buy anything bullion related to increase my stack. I would rather buy at a lower price. If I look at my Bitcoin chart, I am following it on the way down. I'm not buying. I'm not accumulating. I'd rather buy in low and then benefit from the uptake. Currently, where silver is at the moment, there is a chance there that you could short it on the way up, sell it on the next high, and then profit further down. So it depends on how you guys do it. If you guys short, there you go. There's an opportunity to short here. So just take note of that. Aussie Alchemist says, there we go. Coffee must make 15, 5:15 in the morning. Man, that is early. Right, let's look. I'm not going to do weekly because we've just started the week, but silver at 1600. Sorry, 1600. Yeah, $16.83. Let's move on to gold. Right, there's the gold chart. Currently at $1,456 an ounce. We've broken down below this point here, and that was pretty much where we ended on Friday. I was saying in the previous video, I'd hoped that we would have stayed up gold in relation to silver on Friday looked far healthier, but unfortunately we've ended below the 100 EMA. Unfortunately, that's then created resistance. So when old support is broken, it becomes new resistance, and likewise when old resistance is broken, new support is created. So in this circumstances that we have here, we've actually created resistance, which doesn't bode well, which means we're going to be tracking between 1464 and 1410 currently. But that's if you look at these two areas here, which seem to be pretty much fall in line with this area. If you guys have a look here, we can see our support zones to these candles is pretty much bang on where that 200 EMA is. Because the reason why I'm saying that is because if you follow the bottom line here, that is pretty much support, and you can see it there as well, and it pretty much follows through. So that is pretty much a good area for support. If you look at the next level down, though, we do have an area of support here at $1,436 an ounce before breaking down further to that level there. So just take note of that. We're currently in this area here at the top of this support level. So if we fall through, we're pretty much going to be heading down to about 1435. Again, we're currently, I'd say, a fair amount of selling. I wouldn't go into overbought just as yet, but we've broken down through these areas of support. So our 20 or 50 days broken and now 100 days broken. So more than likely, we're going to expect some form of reaction rally coming through. So let's have a look here and see where we go. Right, this is our resistance line. There we go. That's one way to put it. So we had a breakout, but unfortunately we fell back down into it. And then if you have a look at our, as you can see, that was our support line here, and we've broken down from that. So we can just bring that across. Which means that this little ascending triangle formation, if you can call it that, or descending, whichever way you want to put it, means that we've got this area here to pretty much do something, which isn't a lot of time really. If you look at it, 12th of November all the way through to the beginning of December, more than likely we're going to be expecting a rally just to the upside, about maybe 1485 possibly. There's our resistance zone over here as well, so 1475. And then we got our next resistance zone here at 1466. So there's quite a substantial amount of resistance ahead for gold. Ozzy says, Mr. Dave, I reckon you are giving International a run for his stack with that much gold. I think International Stackers, well, his silver ounces are about that, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I think it could be more, actually. Precious Metals Update says, I'm good. Back at the car place, unfortunately, they needed to order a man. You were just there the other day as well. You think they would have got that organized? Ozzy is at 5:15 a.m. Tuesday morning over there, or Monday still. Ozzy, that's a silver stack. Gold about 2 ounces. That's one way to put it there, Mr. Dave. Ah, right. Sorry, Mr. Dave, you had me confused there, man. The way you said 750. Oh, I misunderstood you there, Mr. Dave, but that's cool, man. That's an awesome stack. Right, let's look at gold on the 4 hour and see how we're tracking now on the 4 hour. Right, so there we are on the 4 hour. You can actually see that we've actually broken through that current support level, and then we've gone back up again. We're currently sitting at $1,456 an ounce. Again, very similar to silver in regards to our moving averages, all falling down to catch up. More than likely a reaction rally is coming, so it just depends on what news is out there, everybody. So just take note of that. We're going to be taking a look at an article there in a sec, which has got me a bit puzzled. So let's take a look at that. Right, this is the news. It's the latest here. Right, so it says Trump's latest war trade comment puts oil prices under pressure. This was this morning. It says oil prices went down early on Monday as global markets braced for protracted talks in US-China trade war after optimism about an imminent rollback of tariffs faded. Now, this is one thing I don't understand, is that we've had this huge drop in precious metals mainly due to this particular thing. And yet here it says, you know, I would have expected, you know, some kind of rally after that, quite a substantial one considering the amount that we've actually lost. I mean, if you guys think of silver, we're almost about $3 down off a high, which is quite substantial. We're not like $1.50 or 90 cents from our previous high. We're quite substantially down. But you know, when they say that optimism about an imminent rollback of tariffs faded, I mean that says quite a lot. Yet the markets didn't really react off that. We had a slight increase movement up, so maybe that's still coming, guys. With this one here, U.S. trade war after optimism about an imminent rollback of tariffs faded. Over the weekend, U.S. President Donald Trump appeared to dismiss reports of an imminent lifting of tariffs and breakthrough in talks. This sent the oil market down on Monday as participants fret about the implications for the global trade, economic growth, and as a result, global oil demand growth. Trade talks with China are moving along very nicely. President Trump on Saturday told reporters, we have to make the right deal for farmers, manufacturers, for everybody. So it doesn't even sound like there's even a deal on the table. It just sounds like there's all about wants and ifs and buts, and that's pretty much all I can read through these lines here. So, you know, generally, if I look at the drop in precious metals, it's all based on speculation that this trade deal is actually happening. Because if you look at these lines here, this just sounds like there could be. It all depends. He just says they want to make the right deal, which means he's pressing for certain things. And if we don't make the right deal, we're not going to make a deal. So there you go. It doesn't even. He says the optimism is there for the deal to be there, but it doesn't sound like there's even a deal there. Referring to incorrect reporting while asked if he wants to roll back tariffs, says I'd like to make a deal, but it's got to be the right deal. China very much wants to make a deal. They're having the worst year they've had in 57 years. The supply chain is all broken like an egg. It says the analyst at Commerzbank expects the trade war headlines potential breakthroughs or stalemates in talks to dictate the direction of oil prices. So again, this is another thing which will impact precious metals prices. If there's still going to be more claims that there's going to be a deal in sight, then it's just going to put more downward pressure on precious metals. So just keep an eye on that. If you guys are buying, it could be worthwhile waiting for a newer low. Depends on your circumstances. I always say, you know, when you invest money, you're prepared to lose. Do your own research and know what you're getting into. Somebody might say, look, I'm accumulating, out of mind what price to buy that. That's just the way it is. But, you know, if you can benefit from lower lows, then just buy the lower lows. Simple as that. So here we go. China's data during the weekend showed continued weakness in Chinese economic growth. China's PPI slumped the most in October since July 2016, while car sales fell the 16th month. Both sets of data suggest that Chinese economic growth continues to slow down, which combined with an overall global economic growth slowdown doesn't bode well for the oil demand growth and consequently oil prices. Trump's latest trade war comment puts oil prices under pressure. Let's have a look. Hey, Graham, how you doing, Graham? It's good to see you. Glad you made it. Precious metals up. I agree with you, Limey. It's kind of weird. Yeah, no, for me, it just doesn't make sense that if there's been such a big drop in precious metal prices, yet they go in and yet they come out and they say that there's a possibility this isn't going to happen, then we should have had a reaction rally off that in regards to precious metals at higher levels. I mean, we've lost like $1 in like the last three or four trading days in silver alone. We should have at least seen a good 50 cent increase today just based on that. So for me, that is very strange. Mondays can be weird for the market sometimes, says Precious Metals Update. Gramstacker says, sorry, I didn't make a video this weekend, Lamy, but it's coming, buddy. Awesome. Can't wait. What trade deal? Nothing happening. Fake news. Exactly, Ozzy. That's exactly what I'm saying. Is that they came out there last week. They were saying, oh, yeah, there's optimism. This is happening. This is happening. Immediately plummeted precious metals prices. I don't know if they did that on purpose so that they could buy low, buy at lower prices. more people were getting into the market, but it certainly hasn't done much. Even if there's people out there that are getting into precious metals based on them dumping, we haven't really seen any decent reaction rallies yet. But yeah, maybe that is coming, maybe not. So when are you voting for Boris? I'm not voting. I can't vote anyway, unfortunately. I don't buy this whole trade war is settled yet. We've been this for almost 2 years. Yeah, I totally agree. Precious metals update, to me, it just sounds like an excuse. I will believe it when something is signed. Absolutely, that's one way to put it. Put pen to paper. Currently, and this is what the media work off, and then of course that, you know, the media works off that, and then that goes to the traders to then go, wow, geez, look at this news is out, what are we going to do? And that's how reactions in regards to precious metals work. It's all about what's in the media, and that's how they'll adjust their prices. Manipulation. Now, that's me. That just smells like it. How people can make a quick buck. Oh yeah, let's do it now. Drop it, and then we'll buy in low. Mr. Dave says, printing your money, trade deal, Brexit on hold, all equals cheaper, precious metals, the donkeys are buying shares still. You're absolutely right. The equity market is flying, Mr. Dave. And you'd think at this level, people would be a bit more wary and go, you know what, maybe I should be holding a bit more gold or some of the precious metals. Because even Palladium's taking a hit today, guys, which we're going to be getting into. In fact, I might just, let's just get Platinum on the screen here. Platinum's having a tough time. Markets are too easily manipulated. ETFs suck. Guys, in regards to some ETFs actually have physical gold stock. So just keep that in mind. There are some ETFs that actually hold their ETF stocking in precious metals. So some of it is future silver futures, but some ETFs are traded with physical gold. So just keep that in mind. Pot of Jam, he says, Silver Lemony, how's the graph looking, man? It's interesting. If you want to check out the silver graph, check it out. You have to scroll back. Be much appreciated. Gramstacker, hey, Christian. Sorry, Christian, how you doing? It's good to see you. He says, good evening. Pot of Jam says, yo, Graham, man. Podge, hey, buddy. Sorry, 2 typos in a row. Aussie Alchemist says, show me the money. Trump signature. How's it going, Graham? Right, guys, we're going to get straight into Platinum here. Right, Platinum's had a bit of a tough time. On Friday, we ended below the 100. So it just seems like we're in the cycle of all precious metals now being under the 100 EMA, which again is not a good spot to be. We're currently in a support zone, which is based on this area here. If you look at where I'm circling on the screen here, that, if you look at that red line, that dotted red line, that is where the current price of platinum is at $876 an ounce. And that support is holding. We've broken down from our 100, and we've also broken down for our ascending support line. So we're coming close to this 200-day moving average. And the last time we were under that was 14th of August. And very clearly on the 5th of July, that was the last time we were under. So history can repeat itself. If we break down from this position here, then our next area of support is the 869 area. And then we could even see it at this level area here. So 840s, between 840s and 860s are our next zone. More than likely, we should see, look, I mean, look at that. We've had 3 solid days of selling, everybody, for platinum. So there has to be a reaction rally off this. If you look at everything, there's been these we've had these downs, and we've had some form of reaction rally off that. So I smell a reaction rally here just based on these 3 days. So more than likely, we should see ourselves retest that 900. And that's where our resistance zone is, 900 at the moment. 890 and 900 is quite a big resistance zone. We get through that, and then we can start tackling these high levels, 930 and so on. Let's look at platinum on the 4-hour. Oof, that looks bad. That looks a bit of a mess. Way oversold at the moment, and that's what also, you know, if you look at whenever we've been under these moving averages, there's always been a reaction rally off that. If we go back here, way under it, look at that. We've had, was that 12 hours of constant selling, and what's happened? We hit a bottom, and then we were able to build up off that, and we went up as high as $8.96 from, it's about $20. Sell off back again, build up, sell off, build up, sell off, and that just seems to be the way of these charts tend to work. So we are going to expect to see a reaction rally off this. There's a resistance at 900. So yeah, let's see how that goes. Well, we're up to 8 in here. All right, guys, thanks very much. Anyone thinking about donating to the channel? I've got 2 spots left before the next giveaway. You can check details in the description for that. Mr. Dave says it's mad how many Irish people don't understand precious metals. Mr. Dave, I don't know of that many Irish people on YouTube, actually, to be honest. They're actually in precious metals, let alone understand them. But it's interesting. You're absolutely right. I think we sort of just get on with things here, and fiat is the order of the day here in Ireland. Also, there's a lot of sites in Ireland that charge VAT on a lot of their silver. So, you know, depending on where you get your precious metals from, you could consider. I mean, I used to get my stuff from Europe just because it was VAT free. In Ireland, you pay like $30 an ounce. I'm happy about the prices dropping. It's early Christmas blessing. Go, please. There you go. So precious metals update is looking for lower prices. ETFs are 90% fake. Well, I'll tell you what, that 10%, Mr. Dave, I know, yeah, I mean, I don't dispute you there, but there are ETF companies that actually hold physical precious metals. Potted Jam says, got to run. Awesome coins on your recent video. Thanks very much. I'm glad you enjoyed that. That £5 quintuple sovereign was fantastic. It's such a pleasure to have that on the channel. Not many of them are actually seen, and it's great to actually actually being able to hold one. But thanks for the comment there, Podge. Bob the Monk. The Federal Reserve's just cut the effective federal fund rate 2 months in a row. Doesn't look good for the world economy. Well, yeah, you'd think that, Bob the Monk, and you'd think off that precious metals would actually go up. But instead, it's just like stunted. We just can't seem to make higher highs. And the fundamentals, I've said this over and over again, the fundamentals are there for higher prices in precious metals, but the market just doesn't want to see it. Just doesn't want to see it. Oxy88, man, how you doing? It's good to see you. Can you film it next time you hit the bottom? I mean, can you film it the next time you hit the bottom? You know me, I always like to. I tell you what, it doesn't happen very often, but when I see those sell-offs, man, it's good. Bob the Monk says, not just Irish, Canadians also. Yep. The problem is that we haven't used precious metals in money for such a long time that, you know, not that many people. If you probably look at the precious metals community or the people out there, there were probably not even 1%. We're probably like 0.5 or 0.2% of all the people in the world actually are holding precious metals. It's not really a lot. He's the only Irish stacker that I know. Mr. Dave, you from Ireland too? Oxy88 says, got a double florin Arabic one last night. Very happy. Wow, that sounds interesting. You better do a video then, Oxy88. That sounds pretty good. There you go, Mr. Davis from Dublin. Oxy88 says, hi, Aussie. How's it going? Nice and warm your side of the pond. Yeah, I'm sure it is. The temperatures up apparently in Australia are cooking, man. I doubt anyone down my road holds metals. There you go. We're a dying breed. Yeah, I'm up to 7. Awesome. Right, let's crack on with the with platinum. Right, so let's look. Right, this is platinum on daily. That's currently where there's our support zone, which I mentioned there. If you go into the 4-hour charts. So just take note, guys, in regards to platinum, we're definitely going to be seeing some form of upward rally. It's just a matter of time, especially after this consistent level of selling. So prepare to see a reaction rally of note. So preferably between these two lines here, we could even see a breakout above 900 after seeing such a big drop. I mean, look at this, guys. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. One out of 6 days, there's a green day. 955 all the way down to 876. That's about $80 an ounce. There's going to be a reaction rally coming. Right, let's have a look at the biggest loser today was Palladium. Palladium. Right. Aussie Alchemist says SL79, but even the sheep know that silver is used in electronics and so on. There's so many applications currently for silver, guys. It's ridiculous, and even medical. Warming up. Bad fires have started. Yep, I thought so. That's the fire season. Sorry to hear it, Aussie. I saw Oliver Cromwell shilling AU55 selling on eBay for 2,500. I'm not surprised, man. Did any of you actually see there was a gold broad of Oliver Cromwell, which was, I think it's 20 shillings. Beautiful coin. It was going for 50,000 euros. So phenomenal coin. But yeah, there you go. Oxy Idiot says, yeah, Aussie, I see that there's more wildfires than normal in certain areas. Stay safe, mate. You're absolutely right. Be careful out there. Aussie, be thinking about you. Precious Metals Update says, let's keep the stacking community small. I don't want to pay higher prices. It's worse when you compare to other currencies. USD still strong world currency, and it's unbelievable that it's strong considering how much debt that the American economy, or how much debt the Americans have. Just kidding. I wish more people were stacking to protect themselves from inflation. I know, absolutely. I heard you on that one. Uncertainty, even if I have to pay more. Wow, big money for Cromwell coins there, than one to look out for. Yeah, that's if you can find them. Man, I tell you, you'd be lucky if you came across one that, I don't know, someone had in a garage sale and thought, oh yeah, there's a Cromwell. Imagine that, finding a Cromwell coin there for 2,500. Some guy's got left lying around. Man, it'd be something. Right, let's look at this. This is Palladium. Currently within that 50 EMA line. That's the orange line. It's, I don't know, I wouldn't say it's holding, but it's looking like we could end up finishing below that, which is going to be a problem because straight away we're going to be in resistance zone, which means that we could see lower lows. On the last video, I stated that this is where we were here at 1743, and I even said we could see sub $1,700 levels. So what do you know? Basically today, from Friday, we've had a crash, $57 down to $1,685 per ounce of palladium. So I guess I was right about that. At least my feeling was that was this the end here, or will we see more sub or a further drop to the downside? And that's exactly what's happened here. This line, it's just about holding currently. If it falls anymore, then basically our next level of support is the 1642 level. If that breaks, then we're pretty much going to be on 1620, call it 1615, in that sort of zone here, which is bang on where the 100 EMA is. So hopefully we'll see an upward trend. We've had 2 solid days of selling, quite substantial. What's that, $1,800? We've seen about $114 sell-off for Palladium currently. So there's some good profit to be made there for anyone that made someone had 10 ounces and they offloaded it, made $100 an ounce, get back into the market now, and we should see a reaction rally off that. Let's have a look and see what reaction rallies we've had. Well, we had a sell-off there, quite a heavy one. We've had a reaction rally up. It took a few days to get going, but I mean, what was it? We ended up low there, $1,384, and we ended up as a high there at $1,461. So that was an $80 rally just on that drop to that new low there. So we could see maybe an $80 return, $1,750. That puts us at this level here, which that's not a bad guess. There's our 20 EMA, and then what do you know? That's at 750. We'll have to wait and see what happens tomorrow. If there's further news, I'd say the biggest threat for precious metals at the moment is any form of news on this trade war with China. And you know, if there's any news of a possible breakthrough, bam, guys, we can pretty much see the precious metals prices is going to drop further. So that is the only news that pretty much would affect precious metals right now is the trade war. End of, really. Right, precious metals up. He says, yeah, let's keep King Dollar on the throne. It's good for me. Mr. Dave, I know where his head is. There you go. Precious metals, sorry, not Americans. Oxy88 says, lol, King Dollar gets you less pounds. Yeah, currently I want the euro to strengthen, because whenever I have to send coins over for grading, at least then it's cheaper for me to send coins into the States. Hey, Homebrew, how you doing, man? Good to see you. There's Homebrew there saying hello. Awesome, man. Glad you could drop in. Precious metals update. The pound is still pretty strong, but it has been getting a beating with Brexit stuff. You're absolutely right on that. There we go. Okay, it's a valid point. Can you trust the media, though? Trump might just be getting instructing them to sell the narrative of a Chinese deal being made. Exactly that. You never know. It could be his buddies all saying, yeah, let's, you know, because that is currently what's affecting precious metals right now, is any form of positive news coming out of this trade deal talks. We can expect to see lower lows for precious metals. I'd say silver is probably going to be hit the hardest out of that. So yeah, it's going to be painful at the moment, but we've got to suck it up. So either you wait for the newer lows, just keep buying lows, holding out for those newer lows, but more than likely we're going to see some form of reactive rally coming soon. Right, let's have a look at Palladium on the 4-hour. Oh, all the way down. There you go. I mean, there's another example there. We're currently oversold big time. There's our moving averages way up here. So we should see a kind of reaction rally happening over the next couple of days. There's one there for a short period, and then it popped up. So it went all the way from $16.98. That's on the left of the screen here. $1,698 all the way down to $16.45. That was a good $50 drop. And then we had a reaction rally straight back up to almost back to the same price, sell off again, reaction rally all the way back up, and then sell off. So look at that. There's a perfect example of reaction rallies. Drops, reaction rally, drops, sell-offs, reaction rally, sell-offs, reaction rally. So more than likely we can expect to see that happening here. So you could profit from it, but you know, who's got currently Palladium is expensive to obtain anyway because of the premium. I wonder if you could get it from a metal dealer, pay less premium, something like that. LCSs are the ones that'll have their own margin. Mr. Dave says, MSM never lie. No trust in media. Stop watching TV over 6 months ago now. No regrets. Let me tell you. That's Aussie Alchemist. Who cares about the China-US deal? It's all trillions of dollars in debt. People care about it because that's how people get rich. People are making money off this. Simple as that, guys. We're just the little fish in the bigger pond. Mr. Dave says, for Aussie, so no telling. Right, so price for Palladium currently at $1,685 an ounce. We're going to be moving on to Bitcoin, everybody. And Bitcoin's had a bit of a slump today. I watched it a bit earlier today, and I was like, I probably should have put a post up, but it's not for everybody. And this is an interesting one. Excuse me. There's our reaction rally there. We had a big dump all the way down to 7.7, and then it was just consolidating in this area. Then we had our sell-off back down to 7.2, and reaction rally, bang, just moved that all the way up to about 10.5 before we saw a sell-off back to that level there. Then we sort of had a little breakout, and it's just been heading lower and lower. You can clearly see here, there's our resistance. Currently lower, lower, and lower. So we are making those lower highs. Are we making lower lows? Mixed at the moment. However, we are holding this support line is holding incredibly at the moment. If you look at it there, it's just touch, 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 a little bit over, back down again, touch, and it's just holding in that position. And even if you look at this EMA line here, the 200 EMA, it's holding that line. Personally, if I look at this formation here, whenever I've seen this type of formation, I've always seen a sell-off. You guys will probably mean, well, what do you mean by that? Well, if we always have a look, we have this formation here, very similar, down, and then we had a big sell-off all the way back down. There's another one there. Let's say to a degree, not quite really, but maybe over here, sell-off back to the downside. Same movement up, sell-off back to the downside. So personally for me, I'm waiting for lower lows for Bitcoin before I do anything. It'd be great to see it a sub 7,000, 6,700. I think would be a great area to get involved in for the short term. Sell-off followed by a reaction rally to the upside. If you think about it, drops down to 6.7, reaction rally straight up here, 7.8. I mean, it won't be that easy. You've got resistance at 7.3, but literally if we drop down to 6.7, more than likely we could see ourselves settling at about 7.3 before we start to see any maybe push up to the upside, head up here about 8,000 maybe. So that's the money I want to make, is this next drop here. If it sits about 6.8, I think I'll probably get in. There's the next support zone anyways, about 7.3. Be interesting to see if it holds this line and then maybe breaks out. We'll have to wait and see. Let me know, has anyone got any Bitcoin currently? Is anyone looking at Bitcoin? Let me know, please. Precious Metals says a deal doesn't need to be fully reached, just the perception that a deal is in sight. You're absolutely right. But even, I mean, Trump's words in that article were pretty, you know, it didn't sound like there was a deal at all. He just said, yeah, we're pushing, you know, we want a deal that's good for us. That's how he left it. So for me, that's no different to me going in saying I'm going to buy that car. Doesn't necessarily mean you're going to buy the car, but your perception is that you're actually going to buy that car. You might not walk out, but you might get there at the end. Mr. Dave, this is priceless. Mr. Dave. Yeah, quit. Reminds me better, get a disinfectant wipe and give. Let's have a look. Bob the Monk says, what is the intrinsic value of Bitcoin? What is the intrinsic value? I guess it could be used through as borderless transactions, low premium for the transaction. That's its value, really. And there's only so much of it left. I think the last time I checked, there's only about 3 million left, or under 3 million Bitcoins left. Mr. Dave having a good laugh. Aussie Alchemist says, Bob, I just saw one of the ATMs once. Middle Brisbane Bitcoin owns an automatic teller machine. Just one. We sold all our Bitcoin a while back, looking for prices to go back down to get in. There you go. That's the same as me. I would like to see it go lower first. Yeah, I totally agree. Precious Metals update, for me, there's more room for it to go down than currently it is to go up. And it's interesting because I just see, you know, every day I'm bombarded with notifications from channels on YouTube that do crypto, and it's always the same thing, man. Whew. It's just, yeah, it just gets a little boring after a while. Right, Let's have a look at the 4-hour here, and then we'll finish off. Okay, there's the 4-hour chart. We're currently into oversold territory. What does that mean? We could see a reaction rally off this, and you can see it's even tried currently. What was the high there of Bitcoin? There we go, $8,787 for Bitcoin. The low was 8,686. So between that level now, currently it's 8,732 per token, and we're pretty much sitting on support currently at the moment. Wow, geez, check that out, guys. It actually broke down from that level, and that was actually today. 8.5 was the low there, 8,590, before it actually pulled itself back up again. That's some breakdown, because it broke down that support, all the way back down here. And I don't know where support was. There you go. That is support there, based on that area. Anyway, with wicks going down, check these out. We are seeing lower lows on the wicks. So we could see lower lows forming. So we'll have to wait and see how this, what happens here. Bitcoin. If Bitcoin, guys, if Bitcoin ever goes down to, let's say $2,500 for Bitcoin, would you guys buy Bitcoin? Bitcoin at $2,500. There's Ozzy saying Bitcoin submarine. There we go. That's my question. Would you buy Bitcoin at $2,500? And then state why you would, as opposed to just saying yes. Precious Metals Update says, I just speculate on Bitcoin. I don't really think it's real intrinsic value. It has value in possible use case, but that's about it. That's probably one way to put it. Mr. Dave, this is what happens when you put a few Irish together in a live chat. So the question was, would you buy Bitcoin at $2,500? But it can be replaced by another crypto one day. But Bitcoin is still the king of cryptos. Absolutely, it's the one that's been in the market the longest. Bob the Monk says, I would buy at $2,495. If I had 2,500 spare, yes, I'd still. But it's still a big gamble. I suppose if you've seen the bottom of Bitcoin in the last rally, it was around $3,100. But a lot of people were speculating that a new low is needed for it to go back up. So if the new low is sub $3,000, where would the new low be? Could it be 2.5? Who knows? Yes, if dry powder available, would be a high risk investment. I would be too happy losing 2,500. I wouldn't be happy. Sorry, I wouldn't be too happy. Beg your pardon. Oaksy Idiot says I wouldn't be too happy losing 2,500. Yes, because I think it would probably go back up. I would just buy as much as I'm willing to possibly lose. That is one way to look at it. Thank you very much, Precious Metals Update. Only invest money you're prepared to lose, and there you go. That's the best way to put it. He says, yes, because I think I would probably go back up. It would probably go back up. I would just buy as much as I'm willing to possibly lose. Well said, Ozzy. Mr. Dave, doesn't the Russians want to back it with gold? I heard about that as well, Mr. Dave. That's very interesting. I don't know why they would. For me, that's just going like totally against the grain. Why you'd want to back a crypto with gold? To me, it just doesn't make sense, because that's what crypto is. It's the technology that makes its value. Why would you want to do value with precious metals? To me, then it's not a real crypto. It's a digital form of gold. If they're backing it by gold, it's a digital form of gold. That's it. Right, guys, that's me done. Thanks for watching. Please hit the like button. I think we hit a new high for the previous video for likes. So It was great, actually. I think we were well over 20, which is great. So I think we're about 25 likes. 2 dislikes. You know, I suppose not everyone either follows the charts or understands what's going on, but I guess so. That's the way it is. Still, though, thanks very much. Thanks for watching. Please hit the like button, most importantly of all. And if you're watching this video after this point, please hit the subscribe button and please comment and let me know what you think. Do these charts help you? Certainly appreciate it. I'd appreciate your feedback. And if anyone is interested in becoming a donator, please check the description for details. And if you missed last week's video, check the description also. You'll find the link there. There we go. DB Stupid, he's dropped in. He says, like, fantastic. Gramstacker says, good seeing you. Thanks, Limey. There we go. See it says, thanks, Limey. Take care. Hopefully on the next video live stream we're going to be doing, I'll probably be doing. I should have my results for my NGC grades. So I've got 10 coins in for grading. It's going to be interesting to see how they've. So I might just on the next video keep it short in regards to the charts, and then we'll probably go into the NGC grades. So hopefully we'll have to see what happens. Possible YouTube updates. That says Aussie Alchemist. Love you all. Cheers, Mr. Dave. Take care, man. Thanks for watching. 2 dislikes. Hope they choke on their dinner. That's all hope for this slump to continue until the end of the year. And then, yeah, I suppose that's one way to look at it. I think we're on the downturn now anyway, so we'll have to wait till we hit a bottom to build off and then work our way up. Precious Metals update. Thanks, Limey, and bye, everybody. Aussie Alchemist says, when you dislike, must respond as to why or won't stick. Mason Tricks, new Me's for life. Awesome, good to see you. Let's do some shout outs. So we've got Mason Tricks in there with the last comment for now. Gramstacker, Christian Black, cheers, buddy. Precious Metals update. It was good to have you. Thank you. Aussie Alchemist, Mr. Dave, fellow Irishman, DB Stupid, Sublime 79. Please hit the like button. Bob the Monk. And Homebrew. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you all on the next one. Have a great afternoon and evening wherever you are, and thanks for watching.